Good afternoon. I just first want to say hello to all my Korean friends in Korean communities. My name is Jay Lin, and I'm running for State House District 50. Basically, the entire district is within the city of Johns Creek. In the past 4 years, I served on Johns Creek City Council, and we were back in 2015. We were able to mobilize a record number of Asian voters. And it's my heart and passion to encourage our Asian friends and Asian voters in our district to participate in our civic process. It's important, it's our responsibility and our duty, and also, most importantly, it's our right. And I would love to encourage our Asian friends across the state to participate and come out and vote. Early voting started on October the 12th, and the election date is on November the 3rd. So I'm hoping that with us promoting the campaign and also promoting the issues, that we're able to encourage our Asian friends. And my platform is very simple. And being a 30 years entrepreneur, that economic development has been always my heart and my passion to pursue. So my platform is about economic development for our state and job creation. And the third thing is that we need to minimize the regulations that suffocate our small business community. Education is important. I often said our students is only part of a percentage of our demographic, but they are 100% of our future. And it's important for us to fully invest in education. And on top of that, I support coming out this year with the COVID-19 situation. I know that up in next year, 2021, the state government will face budget shortfall because of the tax revenue decrease. And at a time like this, it's important to have leaders in our legislative branch to have real-world experience. And for myself, 30 years entrepreneur experience, doing what I can, where I am, with what I have, has always been my way of life. It's important that we are able to look at the budget, look at our revenue, and do the best we can to be a good steward of the tax dollars. And two things I like to bring up to differentiate myself and my opponent. I know many of our families, they utilize Hope Scholarship as their means for their children to go to college. The difference is the Hope Scholarship has been a successful program for over 20 years. My opponents seem to think that we need to change Hope Scholarship from merit-based to need-based. The reality is this: there are more programs, federal programs available for need-based scholarship. We don't need to touch Hope Scholarship to change that from merit-based to need-based. That's one important thing. I know so many families within our district, because of their children's academic achievement, they are utilizing Hope Scholarship. There are so many other need-based scholarships available. So we should maintain Hope Scholarship as a merit-based scholarship. Second thing, I'm a strong supporter of our public safety and law enforcement community. It's important that in order for any of us to pursue the American dream, we must have a stable society and environment. My opponent refused to denounce defund police. I'm a strong supporter of our law enforcement community. We need to continue to do that. And yes, there are some police officers that may be overuse of their force. But what we need to do in order to remove or take away the resources that funding the law enforcement. What we need to do is give them tools for additional training in order for them to execute and implement what they need to do on a daily basis. One more thing I'd like to share with you. I've been friends with many law enforcement officers. Oftentimes in the field, they only have a split seconds to make the decision. Many of us, we can always say what they could have done, what they should have done days after. But in reality, they only have very short time to make the decisions. So those decisions might not be perfect, but it's important that we continue provide the tools and the training that they need. So I support fully funded police department without taking away their resources. And I think that's important. It's crucial to provide that stability and sense of safety for our community. It's important that we continue to support that. So with those two major differences between myself and my opponent, I urge my Asian friends to support my campaign. Again, I'm running for State House District 50. The entire district is within the city of Johns Creek. Early voting started on October the 12th, and November the 3rd will be the election date. So thank you for your support, and thank you for many of you have encouraged me over the last few months. And your encouragement and your support is what propelled my passion to engage politically. Thank you very much.
Your campaign amid the COVID-19 pandemic. How are you raising your campaign?
Raising?
No, raising a campaign. How is your campaign is going so far?
The campaign is really going real well. My intention since a few months ago when I announced my intention to run for this office, I have continued to reach out to voters within our district and continue to garnish support from various industries and various communities. So we have many organizations and community support over time. And also that because I am a Republican candidate, that the entire Republican caucus has thrown their support behind me. So we have been really blessed by supporting by many of the elected officials along with the community leaders within our district. One more thing that I'd like to mention. My opponent, during the first 2 years of her tenure, there was not a single piece of legislation introduced on the floor. So I would also make this pledge to you. I will be an effective legislator. And being effective, it's about building relationship. Over the course of last 4 years when I served on city council, I am known to be a bridge builder. I communicate. Many of the meetings that I attended behind the scenes, those are the time that I build bridges, build consensus. And it's important that I will continue to do that at the Capitol and continue to rally consensus. It's important that we build bridges because that's the only way to get legislation passed. Without being able to do that, it doesn't matter how perfect that our ideology is. Without friends in the Capitol, we will not be able to pass anything. So being a productive legislator, an effective legislator, I just want to make this commitment to you. I will do everything I can to build bridges and consensus in order to make things happen.
Okay, just amid the COVID-19, there are so many just Korean American or any just Asian business owners, right, who are suffering from the kind of thing.
Yes.
So, any just plans to boost them?
Yeah. So small businesses are the backbone of U.S. economy, and I am one of you. I'm one of you. My business is somewhat impacted by coronavirus, but total shutdown and lockdown and shut down our economy is not the answer. safely reopen with data-driven policy and data-driven decisions made by the governor's office. And I fully support so far what we have been able to accomplish. And if you're like me, kind of watch the progress of the coronavirus daily. The good news is just within the last week or 10 days or so, Georgia has remained I would say the top 5 state within the nation as far as lowest infectious rate. And I think that's a great accomplishment compared to many other states like New York and California. They have issued shutdown. The entire economy suffer. But on the other hand, on containing the virus, their percentage of infections is much higher than ours. I think as of last week, those states that have issued lockdown remain at double digit. But right now, our infectious rate, there's a website I'm happy to provide to you that basically is per 1,000 people. If we have that factor, if it's less than 1, that means that the virus is being contained. And currently, Georgia is around 0.95 as of yesterday. And that was a very encouraging sign without shutting down our economy. Again, I'd like to say that safely reopen economy is something that we have to do. Virus is very much, we can't shut down the economy because of virus, because there's just so many other side effects negatively will impact our state.
Okay, so President Trump is posting on just a tweet, like it's kind of just a downplaying COVID-19, saying, okay, flu is maybe just bad or something like that. So what do you think about it?
Well, I am not prepared to discuss, anything what President did or did not do, because the reality is, I'm caring about the state of Georgia. It's important for us as a state legislator to focus on things happening in Georgia. There are so many issues around the nation has been politicized, and I refuse to be part of it. And so therefore, I think we should just focus on the things that Georgians care about. And to me, safely opening our state is such an important first step to have our economy recovered. Sick and tired of the polarized politics around the nation. I'm with you. And it's important that we get back to the basic. I believe that we can always believe in 2 different core values, but at the same time, we can always engage a civic discussion. It's disappointing to see that across the nations that many politicians engage in such a way that they are not able to convince the other side. But my commitment to you is I will always be a better listener than I am a talker. So I will always listen, regardless where we stand on issues. I'm always prepared to listen. And I have 4 years of track record of being a city council. I have not turned down one single meeting. Anybody ask me for a meeting or a phone call, they can always get me. And by the way, my phone number on my campaign website was the same phone number that I had for over 20 years. I don't run and I don't hide, and I'm prepared to serve. My phone number is 770-527-3298, and my email is j@jlinforgeorgia.com. And its information is also on the website. Thank you.
Thank you so much.